The world won't understand you. Hey, but it's okay. Said the world won't understand you. Cause I made you in my own way. Said the world won't understand you. Cause I made you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 117 of In a Good Way podcast. Today's special guest is Gwendolyn. She has a channel on YouTube called Mystical Lady333. She does tarot readings. She's a psychic and student of astrology. She was so gracious to join us today it's already free flowing. So just a fair warning, I'm sure that's how it's going to go. We just came on here with so much energy and I was like, okay, let's just hit record. But I'm honored to have her here. It's an honor.
I am, you humble me, like seriously, thank you. And I'm sorry that it wasn't sooner, but like we say, everything works in divine timing.
Absolutely. So, starting off, I'm sure this isn't gonna go like normal interviews, but right away you said you have so many messages, and so I was like, okay, let me.
Tell them why.
Yeah.
So this is my brother, Gemini. So I'm your
Ex-
sister, Gemini. Sign,
Absolutely.
zodiac. Two
Absolutely.
mine. Yep.
So
Two mine.
Gwendolyn's also a Gemini, so that's what I'm saying. Right away, it was like, oh, like, it was like we just have so much energy between us. So I was like, okay, let's just hit record, and then I'll be quiet. I'll let Gwendolyn share all the downloads that are
Oh
coming.
no. I know that being that we're Gemini and we rule communication, this communication so weird that it came in today. Isn't it? Because now if I were to say you messaged me, was it yesterday?
I believe so. It's
And
the
then,
morning, right? Early in the morning.
yeah. And then I went to your page and I was like in a state of shock. I didn't know what was going to come in today, but let me tell you, God works in mysterious ways because I was like, I finally found my Gemini tribe. And I want you to know how proud I am of you for creating this platform out there for others, because we are teachers. We are storytellers.
Wow.
We're meant to share our story. It's meant, even if it's out there in the air and everyone wants to say what you want to say about us Geminis, we know we're meant to speak. So I wanted to just go ahead and say a little bit where we're coming from. So I was like totally flabbergasted. And I was like, God, is this what we're going to do? Today's the 4th, right? So today is
August 4th.
We're doing this on the new moon in Leo.
It's a new moon today?
Yeah.
No way.
Leo.
Oh,
the sun and the moon are in Leo.
Oh, wow.
Today in perfect harmony. And that means because Leo's birthday and also the moon. So this is I want to call it a very creative day. Today's the day for creative sparks and downloads of information that's quite valuable. I call it $1 million ideas. Yeah, or however you want to say it, or ideas that are reality checks, but breakthroughs. Because Leo rules the heart, and everyone is either going to go, everything's always going to be duality. Yes, no, hot, cold, up, down, whatever you want to call it. So when you're looking at the sun and the moon coming together, and I also heard a lot about the sextile, and guess where the sextile is? Right in our sign, Gemini.
Oh, wow.
So because the moon, it's going to be at a point in the astrology that I'm learning is a sextile, because Jupiter's supporting us. So Jupiter's got our back. We are protected this year.
Oh, wow. It's
Jupiter protects us. Yeah, about time.
No, let me ask you real quick. What does sextile? What? Oh, go ahead. What would you say?
Jupiter rules 12 years of our chart.
Oh, wow.
So it has been a long time.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's and real quick, what does sextile mean? Because I've never really looked that up.
Sextiles are like sexy, creative sparks of new beginning, and they have a lot of potential. Because they even have double the potential. Because for Gemini, we are in a place right now, which is our first house when it comes to the astrology, our charts, where we're being supported. That house is Mars. That house is Mars. That's
Oh,
where you take action. That's the authoritative figure. That's the energy, the driven force behind what we're creating right now, how we're
oh,
driven. And I
mm,
don't want to make this all about Gemini
yeah.
because all zodiac signs will benefit from this.
Mm,
Today is that very special new moon along the path where it's going to be super lucky for, like I'm saying, the next 10 days. But if I'm looking at it, Jupiter brings in the wheel is turning and it's being supported by heavy benevolent planets like Mars and the planet of Jupiter. It
mm,
wants to expand our horizons. It wants us to think bigger.
mm.
Today's the day for scripting, writing,
Wow.
especially if we're dealing with any zodiac sign. This is a good way to start this new idea that we have. So go ahead. I'm like just all fired up. I'm kind of calming down now, which is wonderful.
Mm.
Ask me a question. We were talking about the threes. Why did I choose the number 333?
No, absolutely. So obviously your name is Mystic Lady 333. I get the Mystic Lady part. It's obvious. So
Obvious.
yeah. So
Yeah.
why the 333?
So for me, the three always represented the Father, the Son, the Holy
Oh,
Spirit.
okay.
Okay. Where three are together, it is said that God is present when you
Mm,
pray together. They say pray together in threes. Okay. So that always was important. It was like it always landed. Like if I was in a hospital visiting someone that was sick, and I would go with my mother and it would be me, you know, like family get together to go visit somebody that, you know, needs our support. Very powerful when you pray in threes.
wow.
And then I look at the three. Now, this is something I wanted to share with you, but I'm going to share it with everyone else. How do I, if you're asking me, how do I channel the messages? How do I receive the messages? How do I prepare for my readings? Well, I take a little bits and pieces. We're Gemini. We like to get a piece of every pie. Like, don't put me in Cheesecake Factory. Okay, I'm the cookie monster. I'll taste a little bit of everything. So, you know,
Uh,
so we got taste. We hunger for
mm,
knowledge. So I have a hunger for knowledge, which is, like I'm saying, comes from the Ace of Wands, the Spirit of God.
mm,
That's what's coming in right now. And here's how I started. I usually start with, as I open my heart. So the heart chakra is ruled by Leo. The
mm,
heart is the center of Leo. If you look at the pictures of Christ, Jesus, however those label him, I call him my beloved.
mm.
That's why I say my beloved. I don't really call everybody else my beloved, only him. So Leo, today's new moon is where I'm focusing on. It's the heart.
Mm.
So some people will call it the 8-8 gateway, but if you look at it, the gate within our personal journey is right now through the heart.
Oh.
Leo rules the heart. It's the lion. That's where
Mm,
it rules. And where we are now with Mars, Mars is the head. It's the ram. Mars represents the ram. It's our brain. It's our conscience connection with higher consciousness.
yeah.
I didn't know all of this 10 years ago when I started my awakening process.
Wow. You know,
No, I had visions.
you know,
I
it's
get visions.
yeah, no, it's amazing when because yesterday you commented on my video. I talked about that the road was closed, literally, right? I went on a road and there was a highway patrol, and then you said that it's coming up in the astrology. And right now, when you said Leo and the lion's heart, I literally went on a mountain bike ride this morning. I looked and there was a truck and it said lion heart. So I'm like they it's so funny because they speak to me. I get visions too, just like you, right? But they also
All the
speak
time. I
to
know
me.
you do.
Yeah.
Good.
But they speak to me literally, like they make things, you know what I mean? And it was like a brand of tire. They're called Lion
It's your
Heart. I
totem
think.
animal.
I think.
Now see how I'm talking about that lion? See? You had you had a huge experience, a huge download, a huge activation.
Mm,
The sun activates our DNA. So the sun
mm,
is always working in our favor. That's why we need to get that sunlight, you know?
mm.
So keep going because that was a big message. I was like, you are all lined up with that lion, you know.
What you my ascendant is Leo too. So I'm Leo rising, yeah. I'm Leo rising. So that's
Hang
why.
on, hold up. Let me get it. Hang up, hold meant this is divine timing, let me tell you. So I write down all day long.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
think if anyone would, like, if I pass on and they want to read my shit, I don't think they're gonna be able to. I gotta get better organized. So I want to say you got that Leo rising. So here it is. Like I was saying, a big activation, a big one that's working right now in your favor. And you are in the first house. So this first house is the role that you will play. How people see us. What is the role we're playing? And it doesn't have to be a major role on YouTube or on a platform. It could be you're starting off to become a parent. You're changing. You're shifting. There's many Geminis out there, and not just Gemini. When I talk about a certain zodiac sign, we all have a bit of peace in the zodiac wheel. There are 12 signs, 12 zodiac on the wheel, which is the 12 apostles, the 12, and the 13's missing. She would be the feminine aspect. She was cut off. Mankind cut her off. So the 13 is the mystic. It is the woman, the feminine. Okay. She was the Mary Magdalene. And most people still that are disconnected from the spiritual knowledge still reflect her to be the woman of night.
Why?
Yeah, they'll use, because they say she was dark. You know, she didn't have any morals. She was, she did all the dark things that a woman would do. So they kept her out.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
Interesting. So why was it like that? Why it was just part of the culture of those times to have even that 12 men and only one feminine instead of 6
Control.
and 6?
Yeah.
Control. Okay, I got you.
Control systems.
I got
A
you.
lack of knowledge, a lack of wisdom. I don't know. I was just talking to my kids about this. My grandkids, they come by me, they call me Bubba. So they said, Bubba, you're ancient. I'm like, yeah, I'm ancient. They're like, Bubba, did you have TVs and electricity when I was at now? Look, I'm in my late 50s. Of course we did. But you know what? I told my son-in-law, my granddaughters, they're so intelligent, my grandkids, so intelligent. They're like all over Google. My best friend, she calls me Gwen Google. They call me Google, so I should just get the Google since, like I'm Miss Google. Think about it, how fast we have evolved. I mean, back in, what year did we become wireless? Remember, we used to be stuck to the house phone.
Yeah.
Right. When you went out and you were working, like most dads and father figures, they had beepers. You were beeped, when you're getting a beep, someone, go call. We traveled so fast right now. We are at one of the most greatest times in history because we're breaking free from the delusions. For me, I studied astrology for a while. And when I saw that being the age of Pisces, the age of the fish hat, it's like we're not in there. We're entered the age of Aquarius. So we're in a whole new era, a whole new age of time. A whole new, look at us. Mercury's at the bottom of the deck.
Oh, wow. So we have already entered the age because how everyone says something, it happened 20, 30 years ago. Oh, no, it's happening now.
No, it's happening right now.
Okay, so
we're
it's
at
already
the beginning. It's a 20-year cycle to initiate it. It's going to take 20 years. Pluto goes real slow. I'm glad you mentioned that. You know where it's at? I think it's at 0 or 1 degrees in the sign of Aquarius, but I'm glad you mentioned it. Because guess what? The next September, October, November, Pluto's going to be diving back into Saturn, Capricorn, back in for one last look. And when Pluto goes in, it goes in like forensics. It digs all this shit up. It brings skeletons from the closet up. Wow. And where is Pluto? It's in United States of America right now.
Oof.
It returned from the time 1776, which was roughly 250 years ago. So I don't follow politics. I follow history. If I'm studying astrology, I'm open-minded. I'm learning. You're never going to stop learning. We can never stop learning. And once you stop learning, you basically finish. There's nothing left to live for. Before I was awakened, I didn't know what to look on Google for. It was always home improvement, clothes, shoes, which I got no wrong. That wasn't, it was just, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, a part of myself just lost itself. I'm like, how much could you redo the house? How much could you clean? How much could you do this? Doesn't life offer more? And that's what I would call being awakened. It sure does. It sure does. You begin to know what powers you up. What are your interests? We're going to be tested now, mid-month, guaranteed. So the blue moon is happening on the 19th of August, 2024. It's a full moon in Aquarius, since you're talking about Aquarius. That's at, I believe, 27 degrees. But now Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. Oh, and I buckle up, my loves. We got Uranus coming in Gemini. It's going to be a wild ride next year.
Oh, next year.
Oh, yeah. Uranus will be, according to Tropical Western, Uranus will be in the sign of Gemini.
So what
It's
does that
going to
mean?
get crazy, crazy.
And why?
Because Uranus rules electricity, technology, it's breakthroughs, but it's good because, everything comes with its good and its bad. The advancement in technology, the advancement is going to expand when it comes to like the communication war, right? We're all at this war with communication. Like, I know this and I know that, and trying to find, but also it brings in a lot of goodness, because the expansion is going to come in at a collective level where many of us are waiting for this time. This is the time of great inventors.
Oh, wow.
Great initiation of inventing new ways, new modalities to heal, natural healing. I am very, very much, I stay away from big pharma. I do.
No, same here.
I do.
Yeah.
If they're going to give me a diagnosis, I'm going to ask them to give me at least 3 months to repair it, to go home, repair it, review it.
Wow.
So you go to a doctor for a family practice. It's a family practice so that they could practice medicine on you. But it's up to our abilities, to be aware of that. So yeah, I've corrected a lot of issues in my life. I've healed from a lot of things. There was many years ago, I was diagnosed with some rare blood disorder. I think it was called ITP, where my platelets were just off the charts. And everyone started crying and sobbing, thinking I got cancer, God forbid, and all this. I looked at them straight in their face and I told them, trust me, I'm not going to die from this. I don't even know where I was at that time in my life, but I knew that there was no way I was going to die from it. I knew that this was not I knew I had too much to do. That's kind of, I was like, nah. So always, always question everything. Don't let anyone diagnose you or title you with anything. Just like when you think about how was Christ Jesus, he changed names. He told Peter Simon, in the Bible and throughout biblical studies, like even the angels. So they are in astrology. Like Archangel Michael is known as Aldebaran when you look up in the sky. And Aldebaran is right in Venus, in the Pisces Vesica, protecting Venus.
Wow.
Then you got the bad star, which is known as, chaos. It's the other angel. It's a dark force, Algol, that is in Uranus. So I'm kind of like holding down the fort, holding down the light. But we got to be ready. There's going to be some testing going on mid-month. I want to say from anywhere heads up from the 15th through the 23rd can get rocky. You were saying you felt the roadblocks when you went.
Well, I didn't even feel it. I saw it, like
you saw it.
But no. But let me tell you then, in life, so I don't know how, like, if this is gonna be too personal for me to not want to, so whether I leave it in or not, we'll see. But for example, like, I mentioned in that video, I think I already said it, like in code kind of, but it was like, you know, I've been doing acting now for about 9 years, right? But it's been like, I see the design almost like they're trying to pull me away from it. But I mean, it's been what I've been doing for 9 years. So it's very uncomfortable, right? But first it happened with the pandemic. They forced everybody to get the thing. I drew my line in the sand because, I had 3 visions about it. So
Remember you said that?
yeah, I have 1 vision. I listened. They gave me 3 visions not to
I
get the thing.
do.
Yeah. And they all came true. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to get the thing. So eventually, I started doing other work. I even got injured from it, which it still hasn't fully gone away, right? I started doing deliveries, and my sciatic nerve flared up, and then it
Me
was,
too. I had that.
oh, no way.
Yeah, I had that.
Wow.
I had
And
some big injuries.
yeah, yeah. Oh, from all that thing,
All these years, yeah, my
wow,
body did. I look at it
wow,
as a tune-up.
wow,
Hey, but
yeah.
you know what, Omar, you mentioned the pandemic. Did you know in that word, because I know you like words, so do
Yeah.
I. Break that word up. Isn't the demiurge in there? Demi.
Pandemic. Oh, okay.
Demi. Yeah.
So what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Well, the demiurge, it's like there's false god.
Oh, okay. I
But you
didn't know
know
that.
what else? That's gonna be playing out now.
Oh,
Yep. There's a test of how committed we are to what we're working on, for sure. Saturn rules time. Saturn's like, you're
mm,
either gonna, it doesn't like shortcuts. Can't take no
wow.
shortcuts with Saturn. But everything you just said about the pandemic, that's exactly what I'm talking about from now to November. That's going to be playing out
Wow.
because pandemics are rules. Did you ever look up what Pluto rules?
No,
Go
no,
look up. This is what help you when it comes to historical what times. We're in that time. So it rules the underworld.
oh, okay, Pluto. Yeah, that's right.
Death
That's
and
right.
rebirth, transformation, but it hurts. It's a deep transformation. It's
Wow.
gonna hurt, you know.
Wow.
But what we're facing is definitely going back to historical times. Now
Wow.
we know back then there was crooks. We know that, you know. But do we know everything that we need to know? No, we don't. Not quite yet. Not until this final look. There's
Wow.
something brewing behind the scenes. So when that roadblock comes in, God forbid, I just want to say it rules viruses.
Oh.
Pluto rules viruses.
Wow.
It likes to burn shit down. It
Mm.
likes to destroy shit. That's
Wow.
why in the Wisdom Oracle, it comes out regeneration. We have to recreate now. The system that needs to fall down, like this is what I was looking at about the system. It says, and if you think about the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verses 6, I wrote this down. It says, your tradition, meaning our traditions. The Bible hasn't aided anything about Easter bunnies. There was not mentioned about Easter
Oh, yeah,
bunnies
yeah,
and
yeah.
Easter eggs. The tradition of men, he calls it, the occult religion. So because I know that occult means to uncover, to unveil the truth, where many of us were called conspiracy theorists or, you know, anything that you do on is a ritual. A ceremony is a ritual. So even like when you look at the Olympics, that was a freaking ceremony.
Yeah. The horse thing. I didn't look. I haven't seen it. I only saw the
I
horse
didn't
thing.
watch it, but I
Oh,
seen
so
pieces. Yeah,
okay. What
that's a
did
scorpionic energy of that hail horse. It's like letting us know, hey, you know, buckle up.
so they're
So,
bringing in death in some way, right?
well, yes, it's already there. It's already here. It's
Oh,
not nothing that we don't know about.
okay.
Didn't the virus bring death?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's already been here. It
Mm,
started in 2020. There was
mm.
a huge conjunction. These planets, when they say, hey, heads up, we're looking at 250 years. Like I was never good in school. I wasn't a student of history and science. I like spelling. That was my class. I wasn't very good at math. I wasn't very good in school. But when it came to English, I loved that naturally because we're Geminis. We like languages. We like, you know, perfect for
Words.
Jupiter.
Oh,
Jupiter is about learning foreign languages, learning about foreign countries. But I'm just gonna, you know, say what came out here. Knight of Swords and the world. There's a Saturn card. Saturn
oh,
rules the world. And this is definitely going to be the fixed signs now. So what we're manifesting is changing here. The Knight of Swords is communication that's coming in rapidly. And there's the symbol of the Pisces Vesica. That's why I wanted to show you this. This is from the Tarot Grand Lux. This is what's noticed as the Pisces Vesica shape. It's oval, okay? And in here, you see the woman coming out with the batons, okay? This is also has the 4 elements of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. There's the lion in a corner, Leo. There you have the bull, okay, which is Taurus. Yes. So the 4 fixed signs are changing. But this is where I was telling you about Archangel Michael, known as Aldebaran, is right there, protecting. The world card tells me there's going to be world changes. It's also a card with Pluto, another card of Pluto, saying there's a whole new cycle, a whole new world opening up. We're ready to end a cycle and we're ready to move into the new. Look at, there's your Aquarius. And this card I can't show because she's nude on it.
Oh,
but yeah, you can't do it on according to, she's blending the
YouTube.
cups. She's blending the cups here. I mean, if they cover it, she's holding the 2 cups with the star on her head. So there's definitely a solid opportunity that God is presenting us in the physical world. This is a physical manifestation that's coming in. This Ace of Pentacles, guess what, Omar? What's
has a deer,
on the
right?
bottom?
The deer, yeah.
I knew this deck was for you today. There's your deer. There's the nature. It's just going to come in natural. So this is a natural flow that's coming in from the hand of the divine into your physical world, which will give you a solid gain. So whoever's watching this reading, yeah, if you're picking up this energy for sure, I'm just saying, because the star card is Mercury in Aquarius, okay, 2 air signs. Aquarius is also an element of air. Yeah, it's a beautiful energy that's coming towards us here. I love it. Some good news around a manifestation. The world is travel. It's foreign, which goes right hand in hand with Jupiter. So it looks like, for us, we are meant to travel. We are. And you're meant, if we don't travel and leave the country, where are you at? I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
By Los Angeles, like
Lord, neighbors. Neighbors. So even if we're not traveling and leaving the country, we will be some way connecting through foreigners. Like I connect with people all over the world.
Oh yeah, especially being in Vegas, right?
And when I do my private sessions, I connect with them one-on-one. And I'm like Abby Normal, God willing that it works, I get through to them. Absolutely. So they reach out to me and I know that there's a reason why God makes it work. And I connect with people all around the world. I got to connect with someone this week from Spain. So first time, connecting with someone from Spain. A lot of people from Australia I connect with. Yeah, it's just beautiful how we can all connect, even if it's through space and time that me and you even can connect through this camera. It's much more than that. I felt it coming on from yesterday with you. So I love it. Uranus rules this card of Aquarius. There's a heads up here, but the unexpected news that could come out is a huge development. It could have been something here that was hidden that's about to come out, but it's an unexpected development that's going to be, God willing, financial and everything. But I love that I saw that deer. So the deers, the animals naturally are drawn to you from your energy. We are energy. We are universal energetic beings. And if I tell that to people I had, they're like, oh, what did you smoke today, Gwen? Because they know I don't drink. Yeah, I stopped drinking a long time ago. Years and years. Yeah. Thank God. Now I can't even smell it. Seriously.
I haven't drank in at least 8 years, at least.
Say you 10 or 11. When I became a grandma, right before that, I was like, no. I still have to work on some things that, we're going to have to work on. But you know what? It's not hard work, because when you're in the right state of mind, you know what's best for your body.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I feel the energy slowing down, like getting hotter. It's hot here in Vegas. But go ahead, think of something that comes to your mind. I'm going to shuffle this angel deck because this is where one of the messages came out on
Okay.
about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just about that, right? Like I said, I noticed that, you would think because I had a job once for 9 years that I was miserable at, and they did everything to make sure. Like I had a huge tower moment where it was like obvious. I finally left, right? I left. Then after I went through a little period of uncertainty, then I landed into acting, and then I did acting. It's been about 9 years, but that was it almost felt like the beginning, not like 100% the end, like or maybe I'm telling myself that in my head, but during the pandemic, it brought that to light that, wow, being in a place where they have that much power, where they could be telling you what to do with your body, where 95% of the jobs, oh, if you want to work, you got to get this thing. So, I had to find so I already felt like, okay, I know no one should have that much power over you. So I already felt like, okay, let me find a different way. But then, obviously I got injured, and then I was like, man, what do I do? And then it started opening up again. They stopped asking for the thing, right? And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, things are getting back to normal. And it was slowly getting back in the groove. And then boom, we went on strike for like 7 months. And I was like, no. So then all those 7 months again, right? And then after that, we couldn't work for 7 months. And then like it's been so slow to restart because it was like the writers weren't writing the thing, so all the new shows, everything, it's still barely catching up. So it's been over a year now, and then I'm like, man, it's just not picking up at a pace enough that it's sustainable. So it
I
almost
think
feels
it's
like,
about to now.
go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You are about to see that go skyrocketing. What the world card is fame. So for
Oh,
your acting career,
yeah. Well,
absolutely.
okay, but I
Abs-
was I was thinking more like, is it pushing me to just focus on this podcast and this and that? Like, was that always like, did they close that road enough so I could see, okay, that's it, like to put it behind me and just go towards this, like the podcast and this and that. That's what I was like in my head. I was like, is that what they're pushing me to do or what?
Redirecting you, God redirecting you,
Yeah, yeah,
huh?
and
Yeah,
that's why I said
God
it's
will
fine.
do that. God will
That's why I
do
said
that.
it's fine because it's like I told you, like on the road, the highway patrol was like, no, it's closed. Like that's it. There's no like. I try to find
The
out what.
angel got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so okay, might as
You
well.
are talking about 4 years ago. That's what the astrology is playing out with. No coincidence.
Mhm.
4 years ago, whatever you went through, that's the question that the universe is asking you. How committed are you? You've had 4 years. So, whatever rewards that you did not get, anything that was held back from all the hard work you put in for these last 4 years from 2020 is about to come in.
Mm.
There was a 4 year period, and now we're about to see it in August. And then when you talked about the changes, I started this channel, Mystical Lady333, in
No way.
2020.
Oh wow. It's okay. Wow.
Yeah, I was actually at that time because temporarily living in a 1 bedroom condo. I remember, and this is when COVID broke through on March 11th. That's when the lockdown happened. And I remember I was working. So the whole thing and during that time, I had known that I better get up there now. I was like actually pushed, like, no more. You can't worry about what's not perfect, just get up there and start it. And I did. I don't
Wow.
like to start things new for Mercury retrograde. I kind of have a tendency. If it's a must, then I need to get out the magnifying glass, you know?
Mm.
Because it's like if you're going to have to start something new during the retrograde periods, always remember, because we're Gemini, we're ruled by Mercury, just get your magnifying glass out. Look at the fine print. Dot the I's, cross the T's. It'll end and we'll be able to move on September forward, with our plans. This is kind of like preparing behind the scenes, is what I'd
Mhm.
like to say. Like people could be wanting to repair their phones or any technology. Yeah, that stuff goes with it. But for us, I'm kind of going with right now, there is this roadblock that you've seen in visions that came to you. like no shit, Sherlock, it's an astrology. I shouldn't have said that.
No,
Cut
no,
it
you're
out.
good. You're good. You're good.
But I kid you not, Mars squares Saturn is the roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
Mars squares Saturn on the 16th. Major roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
Saturn doesn't do well in Leo, doesn't also Leo season does not do well on this time because the lion, Leo, like you saw that lion, is at its feeling limited, feeling restricted. So some kind of restriction or some kind of limited energy with Saturn coming in and saying, are you committed to this? Are you ready to go to distance if this is what you want? But then looking at it on a collective level, I'm even concerned for, United States, because the energy with Mercury squaring Mars on the 15th, the energy is amping up 15, 16, 17, all the way through. A lot of squares. And when you hear the word square, it means heads up.
Oh, wow.
Heads up. We have a lot to do with it. Mercury retrograde is squaring Uranus. That's a big heads up. That's unexpected, out of the blue. I don't know what to expect, but I'm kind of keeping my heart set and prayers open because there's going to be a kind of an energy that we need to get ready to embrace around the blue moon 19/20th. That can be dramas unfolding. Now, I come from Chicago, born and raised. Okay.
Oh.
And I know that an event will be taking place there, actually at McCormick Center, huge stage. So, the energy back again in mid-July, what happened here in the United States with who? Mr. T. Yeah, that's kind of like some ruckus that's building up there. We're still not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods. We still have election season. But like I'm feeling on a personal level, this is the kind of energy now where there's a lot of growth. Saturn's it rules it requires the discipline. It does. And Saturn's retrograde.
Okay, so that means it's moving even slower, right?
In Pisces, that rules the hangman.
Oh.
Limitations, can't move forward, roadblock. And I'm just hoping that it's not, I don't think it's going to be as severe as 2020, but it's nothing new. Like I'm saying, you don't have to be, oh, what is she saying? No, I'm telling you, we all been going through it. I don't hate to burst some people's bubbles that forgot we were just all wearing masks.
I know some people still are. So I get reminded, like, I'm like, oh, that's right. I'll go places and people, especially right? I'll go cycling in
Dude,
the
I'm right
mountains.
with you. I was like, was I asleep? Did I wake up from a nightmare? No,
I'll go cycling in the mountains and we're in the mountains. There's like, it's so open space and this and that. And I'll see someone walking on a trail with like a mask and I'm like, and I don't.
Yeah, we know
wow.
that's not.
Yeah.
We know those are just what I'm gonna say. Nah, that's the whole purpose, and that separation. These are all control systems, the systems that are going down. Like I said, some kind of conclusion can be here. It's like we can't, we know we need to follow along the guidelines here. Okay. But when it comes to bigger organizations and structures and people being concerned, okay, what needs to go? The universe knows what we need to dispose of. We just need to stop focusing on that negative part of the world. Let whatever happens, happen. But be in the present moment, creating the new earth. This is what, and they want to call it new age. No, we're here during the greatest times of our lives. This is what I would call the great gathering of Christ consciousness, the great gathering of the major awakening. And basically, we're waking up to a deeper understanding now, that it's on a personal level what we create, this little heaven of earth that we have. Yeah, stay focused during these times. I'm like ready to make the popcorn and get the chocolate almonds and just watch the show. That's basically where we're at. We rule communication. So from 2020, think about all the conspiracy theorists that were proven kind of right.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny that you said that. Oh, it's funny that you let me turn on my ringer. It's funny that you said that because I do music too, right? So obviously, like, Gemini, I've written like over 1,000 songs. That's always
Send me
been.
your site. I'll definitely subscribe. I'm
Oh,
in.
absolutely. Okay, no, absolutely. I'll send you a link to some of my songs. But I always wrote what was like whatever downloads came, what was on my mind. That's why even right now, when you said, "Oh, I feel like getting my popcorn and enjoying the show," I literally ended the last song I just released. It's called What Have You Learned? Like, what have you learned from this thing called life? And I go, the very last thing I say, what I learned from this thing called life, just enjoy the show. Something like that. Like I literally,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
literally ended. So see, it's always been channeled, right? Like my music, but I had that dream where I was the happiest, and it was almost like, like the happiness, that euphoric bliss that Buddha talks about or stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
That was the happiest I've been. And when I woke up, I was like, well, wait a second. Why would you do that to me? Like, it was almost like a torment. Like, okay, so should I have just stayed doing the
Oh, your
music?
eyes are
Never,
smiling.
huh?
And the eyes match the smile on the lips. There it is. In
Yeah.
perfect harmony.
Yeah. So,
That's bliss.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
you just said, the
Yeah.
eyes and the mouth, they smile together. They're in unity. That's bliss. Do what you love to do. Then it's not called work. You had that smile, and it was like, but you're not feeling like you did enough. It doesn't have to go by the numbers. Remember, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality that we give out there. So what keeps you motivated and keeps you driven and going is because the same for me. It doesn't matter if I'm loading out content and I'm not getting comments, or I'm not getting a like, or I'm not getting a push. I know that's in the algorithm.
Mm,
All that it matters to me is that I expressed what brings my bliss,
mm,
mine. What lights me up? Astrology. What
mm.
lights me up? Communication, connecting with others, putting my expression, my voice out there. And even if one person connects, wonderful. But on a collective level, there are many of us. There are many of us connecting and we don't even know. It's like the networking, right? Like even the trees have a network system. They connect with one another. All things alive, a living. You're in the living energy with living God that's creating you with music. Music, I come from a musical family,
Oh, wow.
geniuses,
Oh, wow.
genius music. My grandparents played the violin, they played the orchestras, they played
Mm.
for symphonies. So I come from a musical genius family. I didn't pick up on that talent. I guess I got them out. But no, it's you come into this world to leave a stamp.
Mm,
Keep doing what you're doing and don't stop. Keep charging ahead.
mm.
You see the stallion?
Uh-huh.
That's the stallion is saying mystique, right? Even if what you're doing seems to be mysterious to others, you don't need to stop doing what you're doing. Keep charging ahead. Don't take no for an answer and expect what? Miraculous solutions to appear. That's what this next 10 days is going to be bringing. And then throughout June, because even not June, throughout August.
Mm.
Okay. So something here that you started in June, because it came out of my mouth, is about to come in. Something about June for your birthday season. This could be, or in June for the collective who's watching this. But look at this. We have Celeste. For some of you, this is a happy move to a new home or a place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in a positive new energy. So either you're making some changes. If it's not in a home, it's definitely in the work that you do. So it might be like I'm feeling, but don't give up. Do not give up. This card's coming in. A lot of people are in the transitional period where God, Creator, is redirecting us. Not where I know I'm being moved. I knew that this is where I live was temporary. That's why I
Oh,
didn't hang no curtains. I was like, not gonna go ahead and through the hassle. You know, when things are not for the long haul. This is what Saturn's gonna ask us. What do we want for the long haul? Where do we want to sign that agreement, that contract here when it comes to do work, home, or physical reality, and charge ahead on that now. So I don't see no roadblock here at all. I do not
oh,
see a
wow.
roadblock. Uh-uh. I don't. It could be like, you know what I mean, for collectively, but timeout is on the bottom. So timeout came out, I think it was in Gemini's reading. Very, very
Mm.
big here. Timeout says you're busy taking care of everyone else's needs. That's why I couldn't get a hold of you and I had to rush. Family first.
Mm.
You know, a lot of us have been putting family needs, family first. And it feels like, yes, you need to give yourself some attention, some time out. So I know where I'm headed. I'm going to do my eyebrows and my nails after this and prepare, because it's been Venus in Virgo doesn't do well there, even though they're
Oh.
Earth signs. So men have Venus too, you know. Venus is the energy where I said I'm nitpicking. I'm a little bit disgusted of this part of my body, that or my whatever it is. It's a time out. Our body doesn't know when we're joking around either. So
Oh,
sometimes I
wow.
get into this when Venus is in Virgo, but normally I don't make fun out of myself. So don't
Mm.
ever make fun out of yourself. Or if there's something you're not feeling confident about, the body doesn't know if it's a joke or not.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So always self-talk. Self-talk is very important.
Mm.
Lifting yourself up, giving yourself more credit, because the hard work that you're putting in, Omar, the hard work I'm putting in, and the hard work that whoever's viewing this video is going to pay off. Saturn rewards us. So whatever rewards here, they're coming in. It's going to be a time for miracles. I know this because my Virgo daughters, like, I know there's a miracle here that's coming in. By the way, the sun will enter Virgo season on the 22nd. We are capable of reaching a milestone, Omar,
Mm.
in our lives. So what did you set? What goal? What intention 4 years ago?
4 years ago?
You're about to reach some kind of milestone here.
I don't even know if there was I had started another YouTube channel, but I kind of let it go because it was during the oh, okay. So, I've always had the like the psychic stuff, right? But
Yeah, you're born with it.
yeah, exactly. But it blew up like okay, I don't know if I had told you, but in 2019, my brother passed away, right?
Yes.
He took his life. So it was very, so it was very
So
traumatic.
I went through that too.
Oh, wow.
You lost your brother?
Yeah, in 2019.
I lost my son-in-law.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So both of us,
The
they
same way?
call
Or oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Pharmaceuticals been going big up here on these streets, dude.
wow.
Telling you.
Yeah. No,
You get
wow.
hooked on that shit after an injury. Let me tell you, my body was rejecting it. My body will not take it. It'll throw it up, puke it up. My body will reject it if it's poison going into it.
Wow.
I stood in deep prayer and meditation. I was bedridden for a while, but I'll tell you something. The girl's all good in the hood. The girl's all good. I did that physical therapy lifesaver.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, like how they say, God will just lift that burden right off of your shoulders. All of a sudden, and just like that, I was healed.
Wow.
Not physically, like if you put my body under an MRI, sure. But the mind is a tool. It's the key. Our mind, how we think.
Hmm.
If I wake up every morning and I wake up sluggish and saying the negative energies, like I'm so tired, I'm so sick, then I'm already telling my body, go back to bed. You ain't doing nothing. That's not, slowly but surely, Saturn does not like, it's going to require us to put the work in. Saturn's going to say we need to do more self-talk, self-care. This is a card of self-care. You know, this is about giving yourself that motherly attention. So there's some mommy issues out here, or daddy issues that are still traumatic that many of us are experiencing. I work with a lot of people, and yet it's in my tarot readings. I can see it in the collective.
Wow.
Even if we feel that we were neglected in some way, okay, or taken and felt like we were stepped on or used as a doormat here, always choose to love yourself. Don't give that energy of somebody here you feel like they've been draining your energy. Call back it to yourself. Those are days you just want to be quiet. Virgo's Mercury, if you know a Virgo like we do, what do they like to do? Cozy up with their snuggly, get into a corner, and they have the sign do not disturb. This is like do not disturb. Look, I know my Virgo daughter is downstairs right now with the do not disturb sign. She needs her peace. She needs her quiet. They're very hardworking, and they constantly have that workaholic energy, and they need to unwind by calming the mind. So calm the mind is like I'm saying, but hey, you know what? I don't want to go on and on about that, but I wanted to ask you something because you said something about you being psychic from a child.
Yeah.
Because you'll cut and delete whatever needs to go.
Absolutely. Ask me anything.
So I wanted to let you know, this is what came to me last night. I know this happened to you too. I was 10 years old and I was scared out of my pants. I had dreamt for the first time where I remembered it, 10 years old. I dreamt of my grandmother who passed on, whom I've never seen in my living period of life. She passed on a year before my birth.
Oh, wow.
And at 10 years old, I got the dream of her. And it scared me. I was like deeply concerned because I seen her concern. She had given me a sign that whom her husband was my grandfather, was ill. He was sick. And she came to me, you know. I remember that day, and I remember that day I was screaming in the night, "Mom, Mom, Mom!" And she came rushing in, and I was crying. I was like, it was disturbing for me emotionally. After that period of time, I said so many prayers. Please, God, take this away from me. I don't want this gift. You know, that's what spiritual awakening can be. We close it off because it's sometimes too much. There's that saying, like, for some people, they open up their third eye, they can go through some deep psychological issues from this process. Okay. My process now has been very calm. Like the first time, you know, it started, fear was taken from me automatically. Like I just said, just lifted from me. I no longer feared. I more just went along like Huckleberry's Finn on that log cabin, and I, you know, with my backpack and my computer and my pen and Penguin. Oh, from a kid, everyone called me Penguin. Yeah, I'm Penguin. I'll take it, because seriously, I'd be lost without a pen and paper. But like I'm saying, these gifts come in, and sometimes we don't want them because it's very hard for an empath and intuitive. You pick up on the energy no matter what. You could read a room. So you pick up on the pain, the sorrow. That's like when they say, look into the eyes of somebody. You don't need to say a word, but you could read through. It's like the window through the soul. That's why I knew yesterday when I first saw you, and I got to see on your YouTube page, and I said, he's a Gemini. Before you said it, I was like, yeah, you're meant to tell your story. So dude, I wanted to let you know, whatever you want to do, you have multi-talented skills. You can be able to bring balance in areas of your life where you want to do this project, you want to work on this, right? We all have hobbies, whatever it is. Outweigh the both of them, but use one. Like this should be like your creative channel where you're like, you're just on the roll here, just like we're doing. We just went for it.
Yeah.
I think my title of my last Gemini video, what was it? Like, in other words, like we're just going to be thrown on stage.
Ah.
Exactly what we did today.
Mm.
We both met each other on the last minute. I had to get ready 15 minutes, and I was like, okay, we're being thrown in the center stage.
Mm.
That's kind of like where it's at right now. I'm loving the energy. I'm glad. I am so fortunate and abundantly blessed that you got me at the right time.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm honored. No, it's always beautiful. It's always a blessing. No, and then you brought some clarity about even the, obviously as Geminis, one of our things is being impatient, right? So when you talked about the longer process of Saturn or whatever, I was like, oh, that makes kind of sense with everything right now. Oh
It
man.
gets discouraging,
Yeah, exactly. So I was
but
like,
don't get discouraged.
mm,
Like you just said, burnout,
yeah, I burned myself out at
saying go through. We're still kind of in that 12th house. Wait, I
oh
got my battery dying out. Hang
oh
on.
oh okay.
No, we're good. I'm
Okay.
going to charge it now, but we've been in that 12th house.
Ah,
We're talking about, we're at the beginning of a new stage in our life.
wow.
Everything you just said, like you were processing that eighth house. Eighth house is transformational house. It's other people's money, it's taxes, it's sexuality, it's intimacy, it's losing loved ones, processing the loss of loved ones. But I
Wow.
like how you said, like, you knew when you received the spiritual messages that we couldn't interfere with what was meant, what was written. We can't.
Yeah. What well they showed me. It was like in the book, and it's crazy because I'm like, wow, like even that, I'm like, maybe this book is gonna, after I'm gone from this planet, then everyone's gonna be, because
Well,
it's literally,
yeah,
yeah, because it's
I
literally
see
like,
my work the same way.
yeah, go ahead. You
I
see your
see the
work the
same.
same thing?
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Even
So,
if we don't get the gratification now, we have to take the initiative to do the work because we know someday it's going to be one of the missing pieces to the puzzle for someone else's journey.
ah,
So these are the golden nuggets that we leave as our legacy
mm,
behind for our future generations.
wow.
That's kind of where I'm looking at it. And being like, my kids don't listen to me. No, of course not.
Uh-huh.
When I started off the channel, I said, I'm going to leave this, no matter if it helps, who it helps, so that it will be there for the future generations, for my children's children, grandchildren, and so forth, so that they can know who I was and know what I shared out there. So they'll never forget that we are spiritual beings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we've been persecuted. Past lives, I naturally was persecuted for who I am. God forbid, we're in that revolution energy. I'm still very persecuted. I'm the black sheep of my family.
Okay, so you're pretty in tune with like the past lives and all that then, right? Like,
Absolutely.
okay,
And my future life.
okay. I've been shown things. It's kind of weird because I feel like one of the people that was guiding me, I don't know if that's future me coming back to guide this me. So that's where, because
Your
when I
higher
was,
self has access to all the
yeah,
timelines.
exactly. So outside of here, I get it. When I go outside of here, I learned that like one day, right? I was doing the acting and there was this guy that I barely even knew. I just like, hey, what's up? Da-da-da. Like, because I do background too, right? So I'm part of the union, so it's like, hey, it pays good. Like, just go, stand around behind whatever.
Yeah.
So you never know who's gonna be there. You just submit. You see, oh, we need someone that looks like this. Okay, boom. And then so I went and I was doing background on some show, and there was a guy that I knew, and I don't know why I opened up to him. I was like, man, I just had the craziest dream last night, and all this. I was so detailed, and he looks at me and he's like, you just described word for word what happened to me 3 years ago. And I was like, so then
Wow.
that's when it was new. I was like, oh, so I've seen people's future, but I see the past as well. Like, wow, like how did I go into the ethers and see someone's whole past? So, outside of here, it's clear. Yeah, it's like And that's how I always
You're
get.
a traveler.
Yeah,
You're a
exactly.
time traveler.
Exactly. So let me tell you one thing. Okay. So I was shown, now I feel like there's no doubt in my mind about someone I was in a past life, right? I've been getting signs my whole life, but I guess I didn't put all the pieces together till like this year, like maybe within the last few months, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe before that, maybe the end of last year or the beginning of this year. I was like, wow, like they showed me clearly. I was like, was I this person? Like, was I really this person? Um, you want me to tell you or
Go for it. I'm in.
okay? I'm filling it out because I'm always,
This is
unfortunately,
amazing.
yeah. So unfortunately, I've had those instances where I've had bad experiences with spiritual people too. So now I'm always like, man, Gemini, we jump right in. We're too open. We trust everybody first. Like, or at least that's how I am. I'm overly like trusting, right? And I'm like, man, I gotta learn to like shut up sometimes because now I've had like those experiences, with some. So I'm always trying to fill it out now. Like, wait, am I supposed to say this to this person? Like, someone tell me something, right? But whatever, it's fine.
Because we're
So
very open.
yeah,
We're very
yeah.
open-minded
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And when
yeah,
you're dealing with closed off people, I put my mouth when I should have bit my tongue. There's
yeah,
times when we need to bite our tongues
yeah,
and not say it.
yeah. And and I don't mind that about us because it shows like, see, I trust everyone. So if someone's a piece of bloop, like that's a reflection.
That's it. They're done.
Yeah, no, but that's a reflection of them that I came in with
Yep.
this open heart. Like, so who was the bad person here? Yeah, my fault for being too nice and too trusting, but it clearly showed that that person was the piece of like they're out to. I have no hidden motives, right? I'm not trying to get over on somebody or nothing. I'm just me. Like I'm just, I'm being honest and things. And then there's people that take advantage of that, unfortunately, right? So
But your true friends will stay around even if you don't keep contact. There's always going to be your soul tribe that knows who you are. They
I
know
hope.
when you're taking time off,
Yeah.
you doing the hermit stage because you're working.
Yeah, I hope, but see, now I've been like, even that's been getting stripped away from me, and I'm like, wait, I thought this person was my friend, and then they do things that, so I'm like, what's going on here right now? Why is everything like, even people I knew that I thought were good friends, and it's just all these things getting taken away, and I don't know if
They
that's
come
meant.
into your life. People come into our lives every day for a season and a time.
Mm, absolutely. Okay, so to not like keep like basically I felt like that. Like they were showing me that in a past life, I've seen many past lives, right? Many past lives. But this one
That's
was,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen them and I've been able to confirm them. Like I had this vision. And when I woke up, I went on Google. I was like, Google, and boom, all the stuff I dreamed was true. So I'm like, wow. So did I live that? I must
Isn't
have.
that
Yeah,
amazing?
yeah. There's no way I could have known that. I never looked that up. Like I've had past lives in Peru, like a lot of indigenous
Wow.
ones. Yeah, yeah, a lot of indigenous ones. There was this civilization 600 years before the Inca, and I was running with two kids, and I don't have any kids. So I was running up the mountain
Wow.
with two kids, and then I found out, yeah, and I knew to look. But I was like, what's the spiritual meaning of warriors in the clouds? Because there was all these warriors in the clouds, and there was literally a tribe called the Warriors of the Clouds. So I was like, what? And in that vision, there was a hawk screeching at me, like, wake up, wake up. Like, I was like, what? Like, the hawk was screeching at me, like, loud, right? And I was like, when I woke up, I was like, what? Okay, Google, what's the spiritual meaning of warriors, seeing warriors in the clouds? And it was like, the tribe warriors of the clouds were 600. It was sad because we hear all these good things about the Inca, but the Inca actually attacked them. So they were the ones that kind of attacked them. And that tribe was all medicine men and warriors. So it was, yeah, yeah. So all these things. So I've always been like in these past like medicine men, warriors. But the big
So
one that
similar. So similar.
oh,
You
okay. Yeah.
seem to have had the medicine
Yes.
back in past lives, and now everybody's looking, where's the medicine? Where's the medicine?
Wow.
And
Absolutely.
yet we have that. It's in our imprinted in our
Wow.
DNA.
Wow. Yeah,
You
yeah.
have all of that.
Wow. No. So
I was picturing you as being as that.
wow.
But that's really cool because you've had several
yeah, yeah.
past lives that you're fully aware of.
Yeah.
which are very hard to explain to others. And do you see how immediately you woke up, you did what you had to do, and you
Yeah.
found the answer?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
found it.
Absolutely. I mean,
So that's reassuring.
yeah, it did.
Even if it doesn't, if others don't believe you, it reassures you because your higher self is giving you like, hey, Omar, yeah, this is it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
There's the light. So here's what I see on this picture. It portrays her. She's almost like her eyes are closed. It's like a channeling message, kind of like spooky on this one.
Oh, wow.
But this is the high priestess, which is
Ah.
once again connected to the hidden mystical realms, sacred knowledge,
Wow.
secrets that you are having access to. On the traditional tarot, her hands are not open. On this card, her hands are both opening. She's showing you what was hidden from the
Wow.
Maya. Now you have access to hidden sacred knowledge that you've been getting with Solomon's temple. Okay. You'll see the B and the J, Boaz, and what's the next name on that one? But you'll also notice here that she's opening the scrolls. She's opening the sacred knowledge. She's showing you it. Okay.
Wow.
That card explains it, and it's a number 2. So like it could be master number 222 or life path numbers. Okay. No matter what, it tells me you could have this in your chart in astrology, where these are your psychic abilities, where they're being expanded now. So now you have access to what was hidden behind the veil. So the veils are no longer closed to you. You have access, yes, to both to multi-universes with this kind of an energy.
Wow.
In the traditional deck, she's holding the Torah, which is for us the Old Testament and the Bible, and then you have the New Testament. In the traditional, this is like the sacred scripts. What do you call it? It's I'm hearing Nag Hammadi, Gnosis. She looks very much like she's in Gnosis, mind closing the eyes and being able to see what other people's can't see because it's in your mind, your inner mind. This is higher consciousness with the high priestess. It's a card of deeper knowing about the mysteries that lie behind the veil, but we have access to. So we do.
Absolutely.
Your visions are very much needs to be written down. So I'm glad, I'm very proud of you that you made the book and that you continue to do the work that's necessary for, like, I'm feeling for others to hear. Do you know, like, if you watch Infinite Waters, I always watch Infinite Waters on YouTube, and he said the word history. What does history mean? It means his story. So I like saying her story. It's either his story or her story. So history has a way of repeating itself. Now we're in a historical event time where we're creating something new from the knowledge that we've gained. Now our psychic abilities, our spiritual abilities, and our physical abilities can take the necessary actions moving forward, knowing we're bigger than that. We've been told that we're this small, when actually we're much bigger. You know, now we know that access, which used to be things you couldn't talk about. They weren't talked about. A lot of people ended up in mental asylums and institutions on medication where they were just, what do you call that? Chaining them down when they should have been able to express it. So a lot of expression, I believe me and you can clearly feel that by we talking about it, speaking about it, getting into communities, sharing our stories. That sure lets us know, hey, you know what? We're here experiencing similar experiences. So we're not all crazy now, are we? You know?
No, exactly. And see, so I've even wondered because obviously from at first I had a lot of like, I didn't know who to turn to because I was
Right.
growing
Who
up.
do you turn to?
I was growing up right before like the YouTube and like the computers were still new, right? I had a beeper when I was young, like in high school, everything, right? So what do you call it? so yeah, I felt like, okay, because even the tarot came to me during the pandemic in a dream. So I dreamed the tarot card. I didn't even know how to pronounce it, right? I was saying tarot
Right.
or something. I was like, what? And then I knew to go on YouTube. It was like they showed me a specific reader, and all the things that that reader talked about was what I seen in the dream. So I was like, what? That's so crazy. So then I
Double
went down
confirmation.
huh? Confirmations,
Double
yeah.
confirmation. Yeah.
Exactly. So then I was like, oh wow. So then I was like, okay, clearly there's a connection to the tarot, but
Yep.
then why is it made so evil? So I still had the religion thing, right? Um, I even went to buy a deck, and then the first deck I think that I bought, then I burned it because I was like, oh man, like, am I doing
I'm
the
glad
wrong
you're
thing?
saying this.
Huh?
I'm glad you're saying this.
No, no, absolutely. And then so after I have a few. I have like one, I think, the Rider Waite, and then I have a couple Oracle decks, right? But still, after, I've never really um
That's where the persecution lies.
yeah.
That's where the bloodshed lies. Because the Bible does say, don't turn to oracles, don't do the tarot. But in that same book that they're talking about, they also tell you, hey, it's okay for an older man to rape a little child, a little girl. And you could buy her and you can go ahead and let her give you babies. And we're talking about, did you know that those little kids were young, fertile? And like, it's okay to do that, but it's not okay to do tarot. It's not okay. But the whole Bible is the whole Bible, all of our knowledge is a mystery. It's meant to be unveiled. The secrets of why we've been dumbed down. Why have we been persecuted? They're all here. So it's not, you can't find it out in 1 minute. You can't find it out in one day. It's a journey of finding out what's unveiled. But like what I uncovered is yes, of course, I was born and raised a Catholic,
Uh-huh.
baptized, communion, the whole 9 yards, catechism, all of that. And I broke free from that because I knew that it was religiously keeping me in a place where it kept, like, there's a saying that they do, and I don't like to say it, it was a very unworthy feeling. They want you to feel like, in my opinion, a sinner. Keep coming back. Go do your sentence all through Monday through Friday. Come in line on Saturday, pack a lunch, and get in the confession booth. I could laugh at it and say what I mean, and people won't, they'll be offended by me. But I view it differently now, because if I were to go when I was younger and tell the priest or, someone in a religious, what I was experiencing, they would have told my mother she's crazy, take her out of school, she needs institutionalized. And you're talking about most of the collective. Like if you talk, I find it very I find it very indifferent if I talk to someone that doesn't tell me that they're connecting with their dreams. Well, then there's no there's no there's no there's no similarity there, because the whole book of Daniel in the Bible was about his dreams, his
Oh yeah,
visions.
100%. Exactly. So he's one of the ones that, yeah,
And
I
then
always,
Jesus Christ's words were, he says, go out and do these things that I give to you, and you all could do them better than, go out there and share your knowledge, your wisdom of the secret, the sacred knowledge that you can use now. So it's like, we're taking things like, even when the birth of Christ, what were those three kings? They were astrologers.
oh my, I always say that. I always say that.
They were astrologers. They followed Jupiter.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
following the star. Yeah. Go find out, ask Google what was the astrology on the birth of Christ. Believe it, that star was Jupiter.
wow.
So they followed astrology.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
followed it. They followed it.
No, 100%.
You
That's
gotta look
why
at and the whole Bible is filled with astrology, but people will condemn me and they'll say, no, it's not. You're a devil worshiper. You're this. I'm like, you know what? I'm not here for their opinions. This I have discovered on my own. It's a personal relationship. I still have family that are very religious. We have to be able to agree to disagree.
Hmm.
That's going to be a big one.
Absolutely.
I've lost a lot of aunts, uncles, siblings due to the fact of the work that I do. a lot of them. I'm basically very much, the outcast of the family, but not in my inner circle. My children, what my son disagrees, he's in a different category, but my daughters, we agree to disagree.
Oh,
So, and I remember hearing these words, don't worry about my kids. I was told not to worry. They'll be awakened in their own time. Everybody awakens in their own time. You know that saying, when you're ready, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
absolutely. Absolutely. No, no, and I've had those experiences where someone comes looking for me when, hey, I'm going through something now and this and that, and it's like, so I get it. So just that, like, I wanted to ask you about, cause that I want to embrace, cause even one day I woke up when I was stressing about like work and stuff, and it was almost like if something whispered in my ear, do readings or something. I was like, huh? And then so that
Yeah.
stayed with me the whole day, like, because like I told you, I've even been able to like yeah, I've been able to tell people things with accuracy, even in other continents already, where I'm like, and that's
You
the
don't
kind of,
need them. They're only a tool.
yeah.
Tarot's only a tool. You do not need them.
Yeah, but
Before
I
I
guess,
even, the same
but
thing for me. Before I started working with tarot, I didn't need them my whole life. I could have predicted or felt. It was always a feeling. We go by our feelings, our intuition. I knew when people were going to get pregnant, or I knew something was going to happen. It's just common sense being adjusted to our gut. It's our GPS. That's all.
yeah.
I feel that the astrology is 100%. And I'm diving in a little bits and pieces, like Vedic and tropical is different. Vedic is very accurate when you look at the stars placement of where exactly we are. Tropical Western's about pertaining to the house location. And Chinese astrology, I'm just yet coming to. So I'm excited about learning that.
Oh wow.
Like we're in the year of the dragon right now. And I know I'm looking forward to the next year is the year of the snake. So it's going to be kind of a huge on that one, the snake shedding some skins here. But I'm looking forward to 2026. That would be for me, Chinese astrology. I'm the fire horse.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it'll be the year of the fire horse, 2020, 26. Yeah. But I'm just going with the flow. I see this now remember Saturn usually is a 2-year cycle. So it requires 2 years of discipline, hard work, your day-to-day, focusing, and we will be rewarded. Now I believe, this is where we are 2 years. And Saturn's in our 10th house for me and you, Gemini placements.
Oh wow.
It's right in smack in the house of our career, the work that we do. And this is where we're going to be asking ourselves, because we're able to reach a milestone. So don't give up. These cards say don't give up.
All right. And so, I feel bad because I didn't like, I did want to ask you more things about, but this is what you mainly do, right? Like the readings and everything. This is your,
I do private readings, general readings on my channel, always. I put content out as it comes in.
okay.
I study astrology. I'm a student of astrology. It's a learning process, but I'm the kind of person that learns well by experience.
Absolutely.
So as I experience what's going on out there, I'm able to say, okay, now I have an access from astrology. Absolutely does the tarot resonate, because there is so much there. Numerology, I'm not so much following, but numbers are important. God speaks to us through what? Numbers and letters. The 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet are the 22 letters in the major arcana.
Oh.
Yeah, everything has a rhyme, a rhythm. They all go together. The 4 different suits, the elements, are the 4 seasons that we go through in a year. There's so much coincidence. We could talk for hours on things about this. They all go together. It just, you do not, like, not everyone needs to have or want a tarot reading. We are that antenna. Our antennas are always here to get that information. I do highly suggest astrology, finding an outlet of astrology that you feel drawn to, that you're resonating with, and keep that up, because astrology is very important for the time that we're in. It explains religious issues that wouldn't be explained. It kind of wakes you up. I'm not religious anymore. I'm spiritual. I chose to be more aligned to my spirituality, my calling. Religion would be like how you identify. Well, how many religions are there? I am a follower of Christ Jesus. I am, wholeheartedly. This is a part of my calling, no matter if people want to say it's dark or light. This is who I am. I'm going to be studying the rest of my life to the day I leave this planet, astrology, because I know this is what lights me up, from my eyes to my smile. It's it's a part of my life. It's a part of who I am. And I just, I know I'm on the right path, and I'm going to continue to do my work. Like I say, I might come off and on for a little while, but we all go through some periods of our life where we just need to back off. Solomon too, it was like, when to speak and when not to. And I knew today was a day to speak.
Absolutely.
No, but if you want to cut some of this off, and however you want to do it, I'm sure we'll be definitely reconnecting now that I have contact with you. Always keep me posted. I'm definitely always willing to share what I get out there,
Absolutely. No, thank you. So let me ask, since you mentioned about that, knowing when to speak and when not to, like what I told you, you think
You're a storyteller.
Oh, okay.
And whether you have critics, we're always going to have critics that don't like it. We're not here to like it. We're not meant to have everyone like us. We can't make everyone like us. There's certain people are just going to hate me. They're the haters, but they're still our critics, and they're still going to help our channel grow. They're still going to watch and spy. Just let that go over your head. But remember, there's always someone like me that wants to hear that. There's always someone out there that needs to hear that information, where this information helps others so that they can realize, what, we're going to go through some big reality checks in this life. And who do we want to trust and believe in? There's always going to be the higher role people, higher authoritative figures. We need to give ourselves the authority to say, what, I'm putting myself on that pedestal. Vote for yourself always. Don't vote for anyone else but yourself. Self matters. Self matters. Vote for you always. I do what I do, and I don't care who likes it. I don't care. It became to the point where I care more. I can't bottle up the information I have, or I'll explode, So it's a good way of using it. So I don't care. I'm like, all right, I'm going to load it. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to put it in there. And when and if it happens, at least I knew what I did, what my calling, what I was told to do, I'm in service. I'm in service this way. Whether people believe it's dark or light, whatever they want to call it, call it. But we live in a, like you said, bipolar world. Everything's bipolar.
Wow.
I know. Trust me. I don't know, but we will be talking. Anyway, I love connecting with you.
No,
I would
likewise.
love to read your book. I have some experiences in my life, like you said, of course. I've had some experiences where I've seen some dark entities and light entities. Oh, hell yeah. You see these two marks here? I call these "what you talking about, Willis."
I
It's like,
love
what you talking about, Willis,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. Yeah. No, definitely. So no, definitely. Hopefully, yeah, I'm sure you gotta go, but
I do. I got some plans for today with the kids, but
okay.
if between me and you, if you want to cut it here and this wasn't what you want to put out there, the content, at least at least I got to show you, yes, I have a definitely the vibe between me and you. I love the vibe.
Likewise. Yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. It definitely feels very so tribish.
Very
So
much so. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right around the corner.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So no, we'll definitely connect again. Thank you so much for your
Oh, you're
time.
welcome,
Yeah,
Omar. Thank
it's an honor.
you
It's an
for,
honor.
yeah, thank you. It's a big honor for me to connect with you as well. The
Absolutely.
feeling's mutual.
Thank
Love
you.
your bunches, and thank you. Definitely, you can always call me back and let me know what your thoughts are and how you felt this turned out.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, we'll talk soon. So on that
All
note,
right. Thank you for joining. Yes, this was a great discussion. I love connecting with my Gemini soul tribe. Love you bunches.
Okay.
We'll see you, Omar. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Life may move fast or it may move slow. I met a silly man who said he'd make it slow. We look up out towards space or even at the sky. One that gets away but never look inside. Breathe in, breathe out. Life is a maze, but we'll figure this out. I mean, human beings, I ain't got no doubt.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, sometimes you're just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You're just feeling it. And I want to feel this way forever.